test it.
Okay,
It's like, I want this verdict.
So, let me
Test
see.
again.
Cow.
Just, no,
Cow.
okay. Good. Test again.
I only want meat.
Don't worry. Just taste again.
I'm testing again.
Very good. Oh yeah.
That's the food. I say I want to make. Chop off for it food.
You know, make us take it.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Mama, make you take some.
Let me take from this
So
side.
you like this side?
Ah,
It's a combination.
I like this food
Yeah,
sweet.
take.
This food sweet. Well, what are you?
You don't share it. Where is the apple?
You're welcome, ma. You're welcome.
Oh, well.
You're welcome.
Where's the apple? The serve only communion. I've been around the blue covenant. One flower of food they different for one food plate.
Mommy, if you want to go with your brother, he said it is special.
And you let them chop them. What did you? You don't share?
Yamadunus, I can explain. See what happened, we say, now my friend, my very special friend from the village, Naim Jam, will come to me, so I can't see make I come carry and come here and make a job. In fact, I don't explain to Madinus. So no problem at all.
Bikini.
Madam, no problem. I was talk to her now.
Mommy, they'll explain to me actually. I think you'll do it.
No, just.
I'll explain to you later.
Come on, shall I make no apple again? But not my guy, which be wrong belly.
So my people, what is the verdict?
It's sweet.
Is it?
It's well.
I told you. Come on, this is. Yamisimo, come on. You will say it's digging.
Come on, bring it a bit closer.
Not to me. Put my body.
Put your body.
What is your verdict now? Talk.
Lucy.
Hey!
It is the winner.
It is a winner.
Winner any day. Oh my God.
Yeah, Modena, you're missing. No.
Hey!
Soup well, no sweet.
Yeah, Madina, this thing sweet well.
If you not say sweet, tell me if I can't chop, I might come say something.
No. Excuse me. I'm taking it over to you. I'm coming to take it to you.
Uda will like this your friends. Have you cooked well?
Yeah, Madinus.
Sweet.
Just this, and your life will never remain the same again. I'm telling you. Just it. Give us spoon. Did you saturate the spoon? Just it.
Don't carry this thing, come out.
Just
You
it.
wait now. Jesus.
Don't carry this food.
Just like you. Very beautiful.
Yeah, Modena, small.
It's called digging in. She's digging inside. What about you? You smell well? I tell you.
I like her.
I know say you like-
I know you're supposed to put her for mouth.
I know.
Where is the
The Aerial Assurance Challenge.
Oh, thank you. But what assurance can you give our daughter?
Everything. With the new look Ariel, I can even do the laundry.
Prove it then.
Okay. Let's make this stain even tougher. Now, let's wash the cloth. With your detergent and with new look Ariel. Do you believe me now?
Aerial, now in a new look pack.
Talk. Shimfino won't come. Shimfino won't.
Okay, you will start with the kind of system. She's been no one come. She's been the person got to work. If the person come, got you, make come work for me straight away. When you going to talk straight now.
No chess. Yamadinus, but you see, Shimfino won't to find work or something of that nature on that. But then knows I will tell him to.
Only I know where. Suspect. I thought the person come work for me. No filter give me straight answer. The doctor said the person died. Where did me that? And I know my body.
Yamadinus,
Money.
see,
I carry my to come.
you want to class me.
Oh, yeah, no.
But you now say, I can't to come. I can't do. I can't.
Yeah, so I don't tell my mama give you fruit. When you drop this one finish, you go carry that one, wash and down.
Hey.
So And the house, I know they pay.
Hey,
That's so kind of you.
Wallahi, this is a new improved Iyamadina restaurant. Wallahi. Yeah, wallahi.
Thank you so much.
Look at this egusi. It looks like meat. Should we share it?
I'm looking for meat here. That's even meat again.
I told you. No, the meat is inside the soup. There's a way the meat and the soup.
Some people are
It's a combination of the meat and the soup. If you are eating the soup, you are eating the meat too.
So
You understand?
I don't see me
Eh?
chop.
So just check it.
NTA Tuesday Live, analytical, in-depth, educative, and interactive on national issues accommodating all sides of opinions.
We as a people have understood that we have to fight corruption before it fights us back.
Poverty has a financial index, so it should be fought also with a financial weapon. Give it to the social investments program. It has been a very courageous battle.
Tuesday Live, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Join us.
Social media is like a big notice board in the marketplace. What you put on it, everybody will see.
One major definition of integrity is that you should do the right thing even if nobody is looking at you.
At what point do we as a people stand still and say, no, we no longer want money to become that thing that determines who we choose as leaders?
We are 50% of the population, and I really feel that it would make a lot of difference, a big boost to our development if there were more women participation.
Are you an entrepreneur? Do you have an existing business or great business idea? Then Africa's Young Entrepreneurs Empowerment Nigeria, ION, is a program for you, where thousands of business owners and entrepreneurs will be empowered with business funding, mentorship, specialized skills training, and equipment. To register for the ION 2019 program, visit www.ion.ng. Fill in your personal and business details, check your email frequently, and follow us on all our social media platforms for regular 2019, showcasing and empowering Nigerian entrepreneurs.
Zuma Film Festival 2019. Theme: Content Connectivity. Date: 1st to 7th December 2019. Venues: Jabi Lake Mall and NAF Conference Center, Abuja. Submission of film entries opens July 1st and closes October 30th, 2019. All film entries are to be submitted through the Film Freeway www.filmfreeway.com/Zuma Film Festival. For sponsorship, partnership, participation, and other inquiries, please call 003-3146-842 or 003-6740-997 or 006-3390-420. Visit zumafilmfestival.gov.ng or email zumafilmfestival@gmail.com. Nigerian Film Corporation, powering possibilities.
Hello Nigeria, it's time for Newsline, our Sunday special potpourri of human angle stories. I am Jennifer Igwe. Now, most times we are rather oblivious of crucial issues that are critical to our well-being and require appropriate attention. Yet, they happen on a daily basis. But we only become conscious of them when platforms like NTA Newsline draw our attention to them. Some of the stories of our lineup today mirror this. So stay tuned to find out all the stories we have and the link between street hawking, iced block, and the brain. Now, there was also a time when suicide was a taboo in Nigeria. But today, it is a sad challenge we hear of. To honor the outgoing chairman of the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, capture this. Then a social diary that resonates culture and traditional values will, as usual, feature with fascinating event. I can assure you, you have an interesting outing with us today. But I'll pause here to give Elizabeth Omori time to take the news for the day. Elizabeth, over to you.
Hello, Jennifer. It's nice to see you again and welcome to the news segment of Newsline. Let's begin with education. The 8th of September globally is marked as International Literacy Day to raise awareness on issues concerning adult and child literacy. Since 1946, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, has been working to improve global literacy, which is the goal 4 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals adopted in 2015. The 2019 commemoration focuses on literacy and multilingualism, and the Nigerian government, through the National Commission for Mass Literacy, Adult and Non-Formal Education, is soliciting more commitment from all tiers of government and the private sector in tackling illiteracy as a challenge in the country. And still on education, Primate of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, has identified discipline as the missing link in the quest for improved quality in Nigeria's education system. He made the remark during the dedication of the Anglican International Academy in Abuja. Victor Azu reports.
Over the years, experts and analysts have identified proliferation of schools, poor funding and poor infrastructure as some of the challenges bedeviling Nigeria's education system. But that's not all. Indiscipline has been added to the number by the Primate, Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, Most Reverend Nicholas Oko.
We need to enforce discipline because before exam is set, it is leaked already, and people copy. So if Nigerians want to really have quality education. We must enforce discipline in the home, discipline in the school. Any teacher or lecturer who is known to have leaked exams must be dealt with summarily.
In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
And out to power generation, the phase 1 of Rural Electrification Agency Energizing Education Program set up to develop off-grid power solutions for the generation and provision of sustainable power supply to 37 federal universities and 7 university teaching reports.
This is Bayero University, Kano, Northwest Nigeria. But over the years, the university has been grappling with perennial power supply until the coming of the present administration, which provides an opportunity of sustainable power supply to 37 federal universities and 7 university teaching hospitals across the country. The inauguration of 7.1 megawatts capacity solar hybrid power plant at the Bayero University, Kano, will provide uninterrupted power supply.
If we may have what students are saying actually in the rooms, in the hostel, is something very, very encouraging.
Because now that there will be power supply in the hostel, no need to go to street lights to read.
This project actually is marvelous. It's amazing because it's the largest in Africa.
Yasmin Mukhtar is one among 20 female students that have participated for STEM internship program.
The internship has been of so much importance to me because I have now learned to explore and read more about my course and to appreciate it. I have now so much passion on power systems engineering, which I didn't have before.
Managing Director, Rural Electrification Agency, Damilola Ogumbi, says powering Nigerian universities under Energizing Education Program is not negotiable.
Therefore, we must rehabilitate existing electricity distribution networks within the universities, illuminate the campuses for improved security, and construct renewable energy centers to make sure the development of all in the universities in terms of research are followed.
The immediate and obvious consequence of this project is that it will improve power supply to the university.
The Rural Electrification Agency Energizing Education Program is not only empowering girl child but fostering gender inclusion in the power sector. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Away from power generation, Plateau State farmers and youths have many reasons to smile as the Central Bank of Nigeria is set to give a loan of 1.5 billion under the Accelerated Agriculture Development Scheme, ARTS. Mr. Yusuf Donia, Branch Controller, CBN, dropped the good news when he led members of the Financial Inclusion Committee on a courtesy call on Governor Simon Lalong at the Government House, Little Rail Field, Jos.
It's given to us, educating them in terms of entrepreneurship and how to not be a waste of resources.
Governor Lalong also asks for the CBN to order commercial banks to revert to closing hours of 4 p.m. since peace has returned to the state. It says the people of Plateau State are shortchanged from participating in banking activities.
To you that for a very long time during the crisis, the now in the state, except if somebody else is telling us that Plateau is in crisis.
Into flood management, Osun State Government has commenced dredging of rivers and waterways in the state as part of measures to stop flooding. The governor, while inspecting the dredging in Osogbo, says some buildings may be demolished in the process. Femi Afariogun tells us more.
Since the last flooding in parts of Osun State, residents have been living in fear due to persistent rains within the last 1 week. To allay the fear, the state government is already taking steps to prevent reoccurrence as it begins dredging of rivers and waterways. Governor Oyetola, while inspecting the dredging exercise in Oshogbo, says it will not hesitate to pull down buildings on waterways to avert flooding, as well as guarantee safety of the people. The governor, an advocate of a clean and green environment, warns people to desist from dumping refuse into waterways to prevent flood. The dredging across the state is expected to last for a few weeks. In Oshogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
Let's now beam our searchlight on aviation. Officials of the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, at the Minna Airport have refuted claims of crash landing by a Minna Boeing 747 aircraft from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The Minna Airport manager, Hamid Adamu, made the clarification after leading NTA news crew round facilities at the airport. Dauda Mohammed reports.
The Minna Airport manager, represented by the Chief Security Officer in Danisa Zubair Suraj, while refuting the claim of crash landing at the airport, described other allegations of non-serviceable firefighting trucks and cracked tarmac as false. NTA news crew was later taken to the airport fire station, where firemen were observed to be on duty.
As far as we are concerned, the operational service
thing happened is just the mass air that has some technical hitches, and the flight is on ground and they are trying to take care of it.
Asabe Abubakar was one of the pilgrims on board the aircraft in question.
We heard a crack, like as if something scratched on the ground. Then the plane bent, then regained balance, and then went to the other side, and then regained balance again.
559 returning pilgrims were on the flight, which was the third for returning pilgrims from Niger State. In Minna, Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Still on aviation, key players in the aviation sector have identified airline corporate governance as a determinant of efficiency in the sector. Consequently, recommendations addressing the issue have been made at the launch of a book titled Corporate Governance in the Aviation Industry. Correspondent Najatu Chijani reports.
Nigeria's aviation industry depends on a framework which experts describe as inconsistent. For instance, no license is required for specific domestic flight routes, among other issues which the author calls outdated.
To present you this book and launch it to the glory of God.
The former Air Secretary, with more than 30 years' experience as a pilot in the Nigerian Air Force, studied the lapses in the sector and wants to provoke reforms.
To address viability, good performance of the airlines, to meet the yearnings of all the stakeholders, not just the owners of the airline.
Key players in the industry, including a research director who supervised and reviewed the book, agree that it makes good its promise of presenting a case for corporate governance in the aviation sector.
And what needs to happen now is the people that are involved in the various elements of this industry need to get together and work for a proper solution to some of the serious issues this book highlights.
The book also points out that in more than 50 years of aviation in Nigeria, the sector is yet to fully implement the principles of corporate governance, which has led to failure of several airlines. It is expected that the solutions proffered in the book will revamp the industry. Naja'at Tijani, NTA News.
Now to other matters. Internally displaced persons in the 9 local government areas affected by the activities of bandits in Katsina State continue to receive relief materials from government and individuals in the state. Mohammed Salisu Awal reports that the gesture is aimed at complementing federal government's efforts in that direction.
The 9 frontline local government areas received over 1 million bags of assorted grains from the Director General Small and Medium Enterprises Duko Umaradda. 100 bags will be distributed to each of the 9 local government areas to cushion the hardship being faced by the internally displaced persons. Receiving the donation, the district head of Bakari, Tukur Ma'azuru, is gradually returning to the affected communities.
It is part of the duty on us to ensure that we came, we sympathize with the people, and we try to give out whatever we can afford to give out to help the people that were dispersed from their villages.
Some of the benefiting communities express appreciation to the fellow government, state, and philanthropists for their commitment towards achieving the last peace in the state. In Katsina, Mohammed Salis Awal, NTA News.
And the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Kogi State, has arrested 8 suspected dealers of cannabis in Ogolijo community of Igalamela, Odo local government area of the state. Correspondent Ajibola Christopher reports that the combined operation was led by the commandant, Idris Bello.
The men of National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency, Kogi State Command, stormed residents of the suspected dealers of cannabis in Igolijo community, Igalamela, Ododo local government area at midnight. In the operation, 1 pump action gun and 7 cartridges were recovered from them.
Is this your room? This is it. And these are the things found in your room here. You want to go to the store? This one? Yes.
It was an Herculean task into the bush where the suspect led the team to about 10 hectares of land cultivated with cannabis, where the commander, Alhaji Idris Bello, ordered for its destruction.
We had intelligence and we had been working on this thing for a very long time. So we monitored them, we monitored their activities, and before we now felt that now we should come before they will harvest this thing.
The cultivation, consumption and sale of cannabis, called India hemp, has been considered illegal in Nigeria due to its health challenges to human life. From Igalamela, Ododo local government.
It might just be starting. The 19-year-old Canadian went toe-to-toe with the legend for a 6-3, 7-5 win in the U.S. Open final. Bianca became the first player born in the 2000s to win a slam and the first team champ since Maria Sharapova at the 2006 U.S. Open. Williams was swept in a major final for the 4th straight time since returning from life-threatening September 2017 childbirth. Williams played some of her best tennis in the first set after being broken in the opening game. She unraveled in the second before battling back from 1-5 down. The Arthur Ashe Stadium crowd, more than 20,000, became so loud that Bianca covered her ears. And still on sports, Nigerian basketball players to compete at Tokyo Olympics. As Amanda Marcus brings us details on sports updates.
Nigeria's national basketball team on Sunday defeated hosts China 86-73 points to become the first African country to qualify for men's basketball of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. The Tigers lost 2 Group B matches against Russia and Argentina, but defeated South Korea to place third. In the classification matches, Nigeria beat Cote d'Ivoire and now China to top Group M with 8 points.
Nigeria can celebrate a big victory. And they thoroughly deserved it, Joe.
Absolutely. They came in here with a plan. They stuck to their plan. They got incredible contributions.
Results of other classification matches of Sunday indicate South Korea defeated Cote d'Ivoire 80-71 points, while Tunisia won against Angola by 2 points. In the second round matches of the FIBA World Cup, Venezuela has assured para-powerlifting athletes of early preparations for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Speaking at a meeting with the athletes and the officials in Abuja, Dare recalled the glorious outings of the athletes in past competitions and commended them for keeping Nigeria's flag flying always. He promised to include them in the list of athletes for a presidential reception in view of the 2 trophies won at the World Para-Powerlifting Championship held in July in Kazakhstan.
I've silently followed your exploits, even before now. And what I've told myself is, indeed, there there is ability in disability.
We were also able to brief the minister regarding the World Cup that Nigeria has been granted the right to host in 2020, come February 1st to 8th.
In tennis, Serena Williams has criticized her play at the finals of the 2019 US Open, where she was beaten 6-3, 7-5 by 19-year-old Bianca Andreescu on Saturday at Flushing Meadows in New York. The 37-year-old tennis star said her play was inexcusable in what she described as her worst match during the tournament. With sports update, Amanzi Marcus, NTA News.
And President Muhammad Buhari has written to the President of Zimbabwe over the death of former Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant Africanist who liberated his country and freed his people from minority occupation. The president, on behalf of the government and people of Nigeria, pray God to grant him eternal rest. And that's the news segment of the program. Jennifer will be back with captivating reports for you on Newsline. Stay on the line.
Today, night don't reach for me to settle blessing. Blessing for you. When this girl first got this my shop called network. Now also on top of NTF4G phone. Now this girl could press. I provoke. I power no in short. Reach what time, eh? The obvious to make her tell her to make she mash her act. Come up from my shop. And later I go realize say this girl go snap am. Put her for inside internet. They take her the two adverts. Now I make customers that they come with my shop. Blessing, I want make you help me manage my shop numbers.
My name but I think Nami and Blessing start work the same time.
Now you and Blessing start work the same time. Blessing, you better start with the teacher for top of your 4G MTN phone.
Business makes sense on top super fast and reliable MTN 4G. Join MTN, make you enjoy double data.
Hire a skill and transform yourself from being unemployed to becoming even an employer. Be a valuable Nigerian youth. Say no to unemployment and poverty.
I'll spread my wings and fly so high. I'll reach for the stars, yeah, it's time.
Industrial Training Fund, developing the nation's human resource.
Bayes University is a fully licensed university operating since 2011 and has grown to have 32 accredited programs in 6 faculties. This includes computer and applied sciences, management and social sciences, engineering, environmental sciences, law, and basic medical sciences. The university also offers postgraduate programs and foundation courses in a conducive learning environment with modern teaching facilities and high-quality national and international staff. Bayes University graduates have either progressed into respectable career positions or have obtained postgraduate degrees from different parts of the world with distinctions. Call or visit www.bayesuniversity.edu.ng. Bayes University, Abuja. Learn to live.
Remember that Nigerian want to tell her I want marry. She dey come my house today. I'm gonna tell her to marry me.
Remember what I taught you about playing music from the internet?
I'm gonna play romantic music for her. The body remains small, make it done. Will you marry me? I have a surprise for you. Google, play me a romantic music. Everything is okay. Network is shaky. Google, play me a romantic music. Google, play me a romantic music.
Maybe I should go.
Don't let poor internet ruin special moments. Join the super fast and reliable 4G network and get double data.
Now the watch.
Welcome back. Now, residents of Olowora Street in Mafoloku, Oshodi, Lagos, woke up to a rude shock when news about the sudden death of a family of 7 filtered the air. What could have been responsible for this bizarre incident? Joy Ken Abakoya takes the story from here.
September 4th, 2019 will forever remain a dark day when sorrow in bold terms pervaded the atmosphere in Olowora Street, Mafoloku, Oshodi, Isolo local government area of Lagos State. A family of 7 who had gone to bed the previous night were found dead in the morning on that fateful day. Nothing would have given anyone a clue to the possible cause of the irreplaceable loss of lives as sympathizers gathered in their numbers, some in utter bewilderment.
It's way down for me. I never even hear this kind of incident.
They discovered that they didn't come out on time. And at the end of the day, they forced the door open and they discovered that.
Speculations are rife as to the cause of the sad incident, which took the life of 42-year-old Kazim Zakaria, his 38-year-old wife, their 4 children, and a guest.
Some were thinking or suggesting that it could be from food poisoning because we found a pot of rice that they ate. But we also discovered that 2 other neighbors ate from the same pot of rice, and they are still fine. So it may be a factor, it may not.
However, investigations are still ongoing to unravel the cause of the mysterious death of the entire family.
It is early for us to establish now because we need to carry out an autopsy so that we can confirm what actually happened. And one thing our homicide team also perceived and we also thinking could also be the cause is
fates. These are parts of what we are looking into. But when the pathologist's report comes out, we'll be able to ascertain and confirm the real cause of the cardiopulmonary arrest of the families.
Although the corpses of the deceased have been deposited in a morgue, neighbors of the deceased family have since fled the house, possibly for fear of arrests. It, however, remains a topical issue among sympathizers whether a member of the family survived or none made it alive.
Out of the members, 6 died instantly. The only surviving child was taken to the hospital at Lasu, where we commenced treatment immediately. However, our
Newsline will keep you posted as development unfolds on this unfortunate incident.
We hope authorities get to the root of the matter. Now, films or movies, be it comic, romance, horror, action, or epic, often create feelings that can only be expressed by the viewer. When a film is released, the work is expected to rake in earnings at the box office, but the figures seem like an illusion with the actors after some time. Why is it so? In this report, Elizabeth Omori examines the economic implication of engaging on the production of uncensored films to the Nigerian economy.
When the first set of movies were produced by renowned filmmakers such as Hubert Ogunde, Ola Balogun, Moses Olaiya, also known as Babasala, Jabadu, just to mention a few. They pulled theatrical stunts which grew and birthed Nollywood. Before the evolution of Nollywood, literary works were documented on celluloids. Later on, DVDs, VCDs, and the big screens are the cinemas taking over. The Nigerian movie industry, also known as Nollywood, has received accolades across the globe, making the country the second largest movie producer in the world. In spite of these feats, however, classification of films is still a source of concern, as the high rate of piracy denies players in the industry the right reward for their labor. Many players in the industry who are supposed to be comfortable economically often paint a picture of sorrow and regret as they live and die out of penury. Some venture into other businesses, others just hibernate due to criminal activities of pirates. But then, do consumers of these movies know of this? Do they look out for the classification of a film before watching?
Really concerned Agbero of overload. It does not bother me. As I understand the movie, I don't have any business with the age restriction. I go watch them come up for there.
What it concern age now. I don't already grow up. I don't need to check age. I go direct to the movie I want to watch.
Are you guilty of same? Films ratings in Nigeria are G, which is suitable for viewing by all ages. PG, parental guidance advised. 12A, the child must be assisted to view. 15, not for persons under the age of 15. 18, not suitable for persons under 18. And RE are for films that are exhibited and distributed in licensed places.
Content and classification equally has to do with, representing the true nature or the true nature of people and history, and whatever ideas you want to must not be against a particular set that can, endanger the society as a whole.
And you know your responsibility. You be careful with your interpretations. But that's not to say, like we can do. When we do those jobs, let the classification authorities classify them properly. So if you're a parent and you see certain classifications, keep your children away from it.
The implications of uncensored films, the regulators say, are devastating to many sectors. With Nigeria being a strong market for films, the National Film and Video Censors Board says it is intensifying efforts to stop piracy.
150 staff were sent to police to learn and to be trained to build up their capacity on operation and security matter issues, and even reading. For those who are still perpetuating in the evil, we're working with all the agencies because, as a matter of fact, no foreign films is allowed in the country on right. We've read it so much that as it is, if we start the destruction of the DVDs, both foreign DVDs and the uncensored, unclassified ones, we're going to destroy close to about 1 billion worth of DVD that we have raided within a very short period in all the locations in Nigeria. The reintroduction of the seal for every CDs, that will assist us in monitoring the uncensored and unclassified one. Now we're coming out with a better certificate that when you hold it, you know you are holding something and you'll be proud of the kind of job we've done.
Much as players in the movie industry want fame, they also need fortune to make ends meet.
Protecting and encouraging efforts of those in the creative industry is very important. And now to culture, an important one. Sons and daughters of Ibeku Kingdom in Umuahia, Abia State, turned out in large numbers for the colorful ceremony that signals the commencement of the eating of the new yam. The annual event, which is known as Iriji, was hosted by the custodian of the Ibeku heritage and the political chieftain of the All Progressives Congress APC in the state, Prince Benjamin Apugo. Ifoma Ndwokoli captured the various sites of the year's festival.
It was a carnival of sorts that brought together Ibeku sons and daughters from the 49 villages that make up the autonomous community to offer thanks for a bumper harvest and for keeping them alive to witness another Iriji or New Yam. Iriji is the highest traditional event in the people's calendar, and it is held on the Ekete market day. The event kicked off at the Ibeku ancestral home known as the Egu Ibeku, where the Oporuku and Ochiaga Ibeku, Prince the Oporuku Ibeku himself.
I do all the traditional rites. Signifies the direct descendant of the owner of this place, Umaya Ibeku. It is, we don't know anything about religion in it. It is our tradition.
With the sacrifices over, the drums are usually rolled out with various men and women dance groups performing.
This annual New Yam Festival unifies the entire Ibeku people.
Paying of homage to the Oporuku Ibeku, Prince Benjamin Apugo, who is the APC leader in Abia State and member of the Board of Trustees of APC, usually ends the ceremony.
Is indeed important for any society. Now, he played a very vital role in transatlantic trade, slave trade in West Africa. This is why you can't talk about slave trade in Nigeria without mentioning his name. Like several leaders and rulers, he left a legacy that remains memorable in the minds of his descendants. However, one thing he cherished so much is fast giving way. I'm sure you're wondering what I'm talking about. Annie Daniels has the answer.
The character in question is Seriki William Sabas. Though he was fully involved in the transatlantic slave trade in West Africa, Seriki Abbas brought civilization to his people to keep the memory of the slave trade era alive, perhaps for the younger generation to know and learn more about slave trade. He left behind this building called the Brazilian Barracoon, built around 1840.
The Barracoon means slave cell, and the slave cell, that is where slaves were being kept in those days, in 1840s.
So the Brazilian Barracoon is because Brazil assisted the man in building the Barracoon, where slaves were being kept. That was why you see most of the Yoruba slaves were found in Brazil.
The Barracoon went through several stages of renovation after the demise of Seriki William Sabas in 1919. Over 100 years down the line, the Barracoon is still standing with virtually all the relics, slave trade equipment and accessories still standing. For instance, this well was dug in 1847 and till
and also the people around. Yeah, it's existing today because the people, it's a living museum. And in a living museum, you expect to see almost everything.
To mark Seriki Abbas Williams' 100 years demise, his descendants celebrated him. However, they have complaints.
Because I'm thinking about 50 years, 100 years from now, the young people of tomorrow
may think it's a Photoshop, because when you talk about the transatlantic slave trade or the trans-Saharan slave trade, some people believe it is not possible, that such things didn't happen.
We need government to come and intervene and renovate this place so that it can be a befitting place for people to come and see what we have and see where their forefathers have been transported from here to Europe, to America.
Yes, you heard right. The buildings are dilapidated. In fact, the museum is a shadow of itself. Even if a part of the museum is painted, respondents say it is cosmetic. What about the younger generation? How well do they know about the man Seriki Williams Abbas and the Brazilian Barracoon? So do you know who they call Abbas Seriki?
Yes.
So who is he?
Yes.
Do you study history in your school?
Yes. No.
Did I hear you sigh? George Orwell in one of his books said, "Take away the history of a people from them and you take away their identity." This further explains the importance of the study of history in our schools.
The report says it all. Now, commercial break beckons, but when we return, celebrations and cultural values, including Thanksgiving and birthday of the outgoing chairman of the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission. Stay with us.
An invention from babies for babies. Molfix is 2018 most selling diaper in Nigeria and also the global leading premium quality baby diaper in 2018. You should try Molfix.
Son, being good at something requires strength. It requires pushing yourself. It requires putting in more. That's why the new improved Bornvita is packed with vitality and a great taste.
Darling, what's the matter? It's your birthday. Guests are already waiting at the pool.
It's headache, cold, pains all over my body.
Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablets, powerful ingredients specially prepared to bring you fast. Cold Time tablet also available in syrup for children. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet, a quality product from Embassy Pharmaceutical and Chemicals Limited. Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet, your visa to healthy living.
Introducing an opportunity of a lifetime for 10 lucky winners. Are you creative? Are you bursting with genius, unique and trailblazing ideas in any of art, dance, theater, music, hands and crafts, film and entertainment, fashion and design, culture, architecture, new media and ICT? Does your idea contribute to any of the 9 federal government priority areas? Then register to be a part of the second edition of the National Youth Entrepreneurship Empowerment Summit for Creatives. How to participate? Wow our judges in a 1-minute video showcasing your innovative solution in the most creative way. Upload on social media and use the relevant hashtags. Follow and tag at NYEE Summit. And you can be one of 10 lucky winners of 1 million naira each. Entries close on Friday, 13th September.
see when I do what I do. Cause when I come through, I got the power of cool. The power of cool.
Hey, you! And are you how they talk to? I sabi you now. Mr. Sabi. And you don't think carry last for this one.
A spear into the top corner.
We Sabi say Peking will crawl before in waka. So don't look, no help anybody. No dolly, no. So go for it. Go for football. Go for all Serie A and La Liga matches live. Go for Go TV Max.
Welcome back. As Governor Bello Mohammed of Zamfara State clocks 100 days in office, series of activities dominated the ceremony. Haliru Mohammed Umar reports that the return of peace to the state took the center stage of the celebration, as that was the priority area of the governor within the period under review.
To the protection of lives and property through the adoption of a dialogue approach. In office of the governor spread within 5 days. The celebration began with spiritual activities, as both special preaching and prayer sessions were held to remind leaders and followers about their obligations and invoke the Almighty to guide and protect the state and its dwellers. This followed with a public lecture which centered on the importance of dialogue in resolving the problems of armed banditry in the state, where resource persons delivered papers on topical issues related to security.
Security is the center of the development of anywhere. Dialogue is the best tool for conflict resolution. Dialogue is the best tool.
The next event was laying the foundation of a pilot Ruga settlement in Maradun local government area and flagging off of a medical outreach for Fulani communities and their livestock across the state.
It is therefore clear that our decision to embark on Ruga project is tied to the broad-based issues of security, ensuring harmonious coexistence and solidarity among our people.
The 100-day celebration also witnessed the foundation laying of a 3-star modern hotel to be executed under a public-private partnership arrangement to boost the socio-economic status of the state. This followed with the presentation of checks to community development associations under the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD.
My administration welcomes and supports any program or organization that will partner with the state government in developing its agricultural sector.
The celebration also saw the handing over of arms and ammunition surrendered by repentant bandits to Governor Bello, as well as presentation of operational vehicles to security agencies in the state, in addition to ambulances for general hospitals across the 14 local government areas. Who demonstrated their solidarity and commitment to peace.
Now, more than 300 staff of the Nigerian Ports Authority have been recognized for their immense contribution to ports management in Nigeria. Diana Ajale reports that the Minister of Labour and Productivity, Dr. Chris Ngige, who attended the event in Lagos, used the occasion to assure civil servants of the implementation of the new minimum wage.
In
Indeed, it was a night where outstanding and excellent services were rewarded by the management of the MPA. The joy of 58-year-old Abubakar Garba Umar, who is being recognized for the second time as the best pulse manager, and Nene Ndu Okafo, who has served for 27 years and clinched the long service award, knew no bounds at the award ceremony.
Your leaders recognize your efforts and you are rewarded. You feel very encouraged to do more.
I want to say in the Nigerian Ports Authority, there is so much best practices. I want to say a big thank you to our Amazon.
Aside from the two, 322 other staff bagged the Long Service Award. Managing Director, Nigerian Ports Authority, Hadiza Bala Usman says appreciating staff will go a long way in encouraging them to improve on service delivery.
We believe that the Nigerian Ports Authority is anchored on strengthening of human resource. We believe in reward. We believe in ensuring that staff that stand out, that commit.
Through training to enable them play active role in the nation's economy.
Now, it is often said that all is well that ends well. So it was for the outgoing chairman, National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, High Chief Richard Egbule, as friends and associates from far and near converged on his country home, Ehime Mbano in Imo State, to celebrate his successful completion of tenure. Chukwukwabike Chukwu reports that the event was also used to mark his 70th birthday.
St. Teresa's Catholic Parish witnessed large crowd of people who came to honor one of their own, High Chief Richard Egbule. It was the occasion of his thanksgiving to God for a successful tenure as the chairman, National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, and his 70th birthday. While preaching on the topic, "Make a name for yourself," Bishop Solomon Amat enjoined public servants to always strive to create value rather than corruptly enriching themselves while in service.
Working for his country, serving his people, and he has done that meritoriously and retired graciously. All is left for him now is to age graciously until he answers the call of the Creator.
The event later shifted to Central School, Umunakan, where High Chief Richard Egbule was ushered in amidst fanfare. Chairman of the occasion and former INEC boss, Professor Maurice Iwu, described High Chief Richard Egbule as a man of goodwill whose legacies in the public service will stand the test of time.
We're not taking it for granted the fact that he headed one of the most important commissions in the Federation, and yet he's a very humble man.
For the celebrant, it was a memorable and joyful day to thank God for his mercies and protection throughout his stay in the public service.
It's a mixed bag. To start with, a lot of people who think they enjoy the civil service or the public service look for places what they call the green pastures. I was never in any of those places. But I believed that I came to the service to render service.
To Alhaji Musa Gumi and others, the celebrant is a dependable ally who labored for the good of all.
He brought the commission to the standard it is now.
He served this country transparently and he maintained the integrity of a great Igbo son.
The event climaxed with the cutting of the birthday cake.
Happy birthday, sir, and God bless you for your remarkable impact on lives. Now, all ethnic groups in Nigeria have dance groups. Most of them are a real pleasure to behold. However, in recent times, it has been observed that some traditional dances are beginning to lose their authenticity as contemporary influence becomes stronger. For instance, dance fads like shaku shaku, zangu, and gbebodie are incorporated into Benin dances at public performances. Is the native flavor in jeopardy? Ivie Omoruyi reports.
The traditional dance steps of the Benins go far into the midst of time. Resplendent in their native colors and gorgeous coral beads, they appear in full splendor as appropriate for a people of undeniable royal pedigree. As time passed, the sheer pleasure the dance produces, along with the spice it brings to ceremonies, have made it one of the most sought-after items in Benin popular entertainments. The dance steps are deployed in conjunction with lyrics which tell appropriate stories in Benin language. The dance is unique to the people of Edo and it remains a brag item and was appropriately shown to over 3,000 youth corps members posted to Edo State. It was great entertainment, although many, including myself, were slightly concerned by the disco nuances which seemed to take a grip of the display. It was spectacularly modernized and seemed less authentically Benin that might have been intended.
All this Azonto infiltration into our culture does not make it look regal.
It is not a good one because our culture does not welcome shaku shaku and Azonto.
The obsession with dance types such as Zanku, Azonto, Gbebodi, and others leave lovers of Benin dance in a bit of quandary.
I want to believe that most of the people who direct the cultural dances would have gone in to find out if there can be more modifications. But I know it is not possible for you to adulterate the typical Edo culture. It is not possible.
When you tie that wrapper, it dignifies you. It shows you are it's a regalia for a Benin woman. Because if you want to do that kind of dance, there should be a costume for that kind of dance.
I have been truly apprehensive of the prospect of Benin royal dance going extinct. To assuage my fears, to entertain, or they just do it as they are led. My findings: the dance are simply regal, just how it is meant to be. I decided then to ask what brings about the inevitable inclusion of modern dances.
We have the modern people, so you give them what they want. Then for the mature minds, we give them our own traditional dances.
It's not our dance, but people do demand for it when we are in any occasion, so they will come out. But where they don't demand for it, we don't do it.
The infection of traditional dance steps by modern dance is not a unique Benin experience. It occurs in Delta and several other states. Could this be a cultural epidemic of sorts?
Tradition has been with us from ages. It is unique. It distinguishes a tribe from any other one. So when you decide to dance the traditional dance, putting on traditional apparel, it becomes necessary that you maintain the grand norm, sticking to the tribe.
African culture will never be complete without dancing. And trust Dotun, I know you will never miss an opportunity to dance and show off our Nigerian hip-hop styles. Now, time to pause for some messages. Stay with us. Messages.
You are extraordinary. You always go the extra mile to make sure my breakfast is made with extra nutritious Milo. I want to say a big thank you. You are extra precious and extra super.
Milo is thanking moms for being extraordinary by giving the family an extra 50 grams of delicious Milo for every 500-gram pouch bought. Don't miss out. Offer valid while stocks last.
Hey, you! And are you how they talk to? I sabi you now. It's in day your mind, Abi. The person with them go help us. Baba Toros and Shangalo, Oga Lekova, Mr. Sabi. And you know if we carry last for this one.
A spear into the top corner.
We Sabi say Peking will crawl before in waka. So don't look, no help anybody. No dolly, no. So go for her. Go for football. Go for Osirio on the Liga Martins live. Go for Go TV Max.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Please, did you hear that?
Of course I did. That is Village Master tune.
So, Auntie Amebo was not gossiping then?
Village Master is celebrating 50 years.
50? Already? This is not a joke.
It is a national celebration. NTA and Village Master family are commemorating 50 years.
Hey, please, tell me, when is our Golden Jubilee?
It is from the 8th to 11th of October, 2019.
I have to go and get ready. It's time to party.
Women. But we, men, will be there too.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Welcome back. Now, the street hawking of iced water and soft drink by those displaying them on their heads is not new. The public health concern associated with the sellers, especially the effects of long hours of bearing the iced drop of water on their heads, is now attracting more attention. Mohammed Abdulkadir went round some major streets in Lagos to interact with sellers of iced drinks on their body to unravel the mystery.
We used to get 10 naira from one bottle of minerals. Okay. So those ones that they used to sell it, they used to give us 19 naira. So when we sell it, we sell it 100 naira. Okay. We gain 10 naira from it. Okay. So we don't have something to do less than sell market and gain any amount we receive from this thing. Okay. So I cannot thief and I cannot do wrongs. That is why I'm selling what I'm selling.
I'm not a medical expert. However, I do not pretend to be one. But common sense tells me that long hours of carrying iced block on one's head like this for a very long time may be sending a wrong wave of signals to the brain medically. To clear my doubt and be better informed to enlighten street hawkers of cold drinks on the negative side effect of their business, I sought clarification from medical experts.
Those who hawk are hawking very often under the sun. If anything at all, the heat is perhaps more dangerous to them. And that cold drink and the cold water on their head is helping to cool them down and battle even the heat that they are exposed to for long hours, because there's such a thing as a heat stroke. And having the water on them is probably more protective than damaging to their health.
Investigations, however, show that the cold drinks and water vendors are ignorant of the health hazard associated with their business.
To me, I don't think there's any implication. I mean, I'm not a medical person.
People who carry it on their head throughout all the places throughout the day is not good.
It may resist the flow of blood, which may directly or indirectly affect the person's life.
Ifeolu Adeoye is a school certificate holder who, for lack of any other job to put food on our table, has been on the streets selling the product for 3 years.
Are you aware of this cold thing entering your body?
Yes, it used to enter my body. So I used to have cold and I have kata again.
Ahmed Taiwo, 14-year-old boy, is into this business helping his parents towards making a living.
Yes, I'm happy to come. I'm happy.
Helping your parents sell. How long have you been selling this thing?
Like 2 years.
2 years ago?
Yes.
To some of them, the icing on the cake for the business is the iced block, without which it will not attract patronage from members of the public and motoring community, who are their major buyers.
You know now in Nigeria, if water is not cold, nobody is really
Smiling to the belly, how good of the street hawkers of chilled drinks making quick money, not minding the health implications, are between the age bracket of 14 and 30 years. More of put on one's head with little
gets no harming. But